Your opinion.
It's gone. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another weekly episode.
Just leave it in. I don't have time for this. Just leave the goddamn thing in. Just yeah, go on, go on, go on.
Welcome to our weekly episode of The Kickback. You're tuned in. My name is Letitia.
And I'm Sean.
And this week we are going to be talking about um, self-love and self-worth. And the topic this week is whether or not money is needed, if money is necessarily needed to be truly happy. Um, in my opinion, um, I believe that there is a lot on this subject in regards to how it is perceived, how money is perceived, the type of person, um, and we're obviously going to depth throughout this conversation. We did a bit of research. I did a bit of research as well.
I did a bit of
Yeah,
research
I
too.
know that's not what I'm saying, but I don't want to like be like, oh, we did research. But
Alright.
in my research, I found that like there's obviously different reports in regards to how money like affects people, um, from kind of the richest to the poorest. Um, Little things like how, and I kind of knew this already, but how like people who give or even like give to charities and stuff are less well off than the kind of 20% of the richest people in the world. Um, yeah, 20% of the poorest people in the world um, probably give about 3.2% on average of their wage, whereas the 20% who are extremely wealthy only give about 0.9% of their wage on average. Um, and it's that thing of having more money may make them happier, but it also makes people more stingier. They want to hold on to things that they had never thought that they would ever have before. And that's something that I kind of was looking up. And what do you think of that?
So it's like my opinion is this. So in terms of money, I find that it can make you happy, but the novelty wears off. It's a situation where you could buy that flashy car or you could buy that flashy house, but once you get so used to a certain lifestyle, that's all you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really have that same kind of, you know, it doesn't really excite you anymore. You know what I mean? If you're not used to something, it's like you're gonna post it on Instagram and be like, oh look, I'm in this jet. But if you're taking a jet to work every day, then you're not gonna post it on Instagram anymore because that's your life. Now, when I was younger, I always used to hear this saying, oh well, I'd rather cry inside a Range Rover. I'd rather cry inside a Range Rover. But I've learned over time that money isn't everything. Money isn't everything.
No, money isn't everything. I agree with you in that, and and I've had my own spin on that same saying in regards to, money can't buy me happiness, but it damn sure pays for my gas and electricity, which keeps me warm at night. So,
Mm.
we don't necessarily need money for happiness. Happiness cannot make you happy. Money cannot make you happy, but like it can keep you stable. It can buy your necessities, which we need. It is a given fact, and has been research has been shown that like low income people are more likely to suffer from ill health, from loneliness, and from emotional pain because their basic human needs are not met because they don't have the money to afford them. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. In terms of money, it can bring a lot of jealousy. Money can definitely bring a lot of jealousy, depending on the people and their circumstances around you. So if you've got a crowd of rich friends that also have money, then all of you are going to thrive together. It's like they're going to be boosting up your business ideas, vice versa. But say if you win the lottery, but then you're still living in the hood, it's kind of like a crabs in the bucket effect where everybody's trying to pull you down. It's going to be a thing where somebody says to you, oh, well, like, oh, I saw you buy that car yesterday. Oh, I was wondering if you could buy me a car. You know what I mean? And I remember watching a video of 50 Cent and he was saying a lot of friends were coming to him saying, oh, I saw you buy like 3 cars last week. You could just buy me a car, and joking around with him. But behind silly jokes are true intentions. And he said, I can't even remember the last time, I borrowed $50 from them. You know what I mean? But yet they want me to buy a car. So yeah, money's a tricky subject. It's like it can bring great jealousy and deceit into your life. But then on the flip side, for instance, if your mum is struggling and you're keeping on the lights for her, or you accumulate enough money to pay off your mother's mortgage, that in turn is going to bring a lot of happiness into your life. So now we have that debate of whether money truly makes you happy or whether it's just a passing kind of phase.
But then think about it this way: when you're making a lot of money, on a generalization level, when you're making a
Mm.
lot of to make a lot of money and get a high income, a majority of the time you need to be working loads of hours, which means you then have less
A
time,
lack of time, yeah.
lack of time. So you have money, but you have a lack of time to spend with family, friends, and time for your to have leisure for yourself. Um, but then that because you're then again not meeting all the requirements you need as a in basic human be like you need that contact with other people, you need those emotions, you need something to thrive, you need something
Mm.
to and to live for. um but it's that thing of but then obviously we discussed this in regards to and obviously in kind of the research I found, and it made sense that you know money can't buy happiness. Happiness comes from being able to share it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And money can't buy love or loyalty. Like money can't buy love, it can't buy loyalty. Um, there are certain things that you can't buy with money. Um, I was doing my research as well, and it said something like 168 billion
Mm-hmm.
people. That's the revenue of the money that's being spent on like prostitution and stuff like that. So it's like I just wanted to ask you, like, what do you think of that? Like, do you feel like people are trying to buy love, or do you feel like,
People are lonely
mm,
because money can't buy that, and as I said, it goes back to that thing of sharing because I have money, I'm gonna splurge on a prostitute or an
mm,
escort for a few days or a sugar baby. Do you understand what I mean? Because I can, because I got the money, and now I feel good because I've shared it. Do you know what I
mm,
mean? And it's a thing of whether it's with whether it's an old man with a sugar baby, whether it's you have been able to give back to your parents so that they're okay, whether
mm.
it's you holding down a household so you're losing out
It's
on
definitely,
your own personal time to maintain a household, you're giving back and you're sharing, and that in itself kind of balances it out a little bit in regards to finding that happiness, because as much as you're like taking time away from yourself, at the same time you're making sure that those
mm,
around you are well off and well and okay. um
it definitely changes that dynamic, doesn't it?
mm,
Because I always use that term way back when, but just seriously in general, I just feel like because of this money thing now, because prostitution is like the oldest form of work in like all of
mm,
time. But I'm just saying now because it's so rife, it's like there's no need to kind of like be an old romantic and take people out on dates anymore. It's like
Mm.
if someone's really feeling that lonely, they could just pay for it, which is a shame because then it just cancels out all human interaction altogether, you know? Like but these are the times we live in. You know what I mean?
You know, there's people out there that are happy to live off their basic life, and don't. And this is not disrespect when I say basic lifestyle. I mean to live like where at their means. You know, earning like a low income, um, whether it be under 30,000 a year, whether it be whatever that may be, and be happy because they're like, you know what, I'm content with what I have. Whether you consider that as happiness or not, that is someone who is content and happy in the bubble that they have. Do you understand what I mean? And then there's people who aren't happy because and then those people who are in that bracket are happy because that lifestyle that they have, the earnings that they have maintains that lifestyle that they have. I
Mm,
have a roof over my head, pay for my gas, electricity, I go out from time to time, maybe I have a holiday in the year. Do you understand what I mean? Whereas other people, no, my lifestyle requires me to have um
X, Y, and Z.
hundreds of thousands every month just to maintain my lifestyle, and if I don't have that lifestyle, I'm not happy. But then it's like, without if you cannot be happy without that lifestyle and that money provides, what, where is your core happiness? Where is, you need to
Mm.
feel
I
that
feel
happiness comes from
I
within you.
personally feel like, you know, people just need to find a purpose. You know, like they need to find a purpose for the money. Like for instance, it's not about, and it goes back to what you were saying prior. Obviously, it's about, you know, were you saying it's about sharing, wasn't it? It's about sharing. You know, it's like you shouldn't feel happy within yourself, thriving, and then watching your mother starve. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I don't get people's mindsets when they're driving the latest Benz, but then your mother is still living on the blocks. Your mother is still living in ends, and it's like
mm,
you're driving the latest car, or it's like you've got a shoe collection that's so large, but then you can just afford to keep on the lights, and I'm like, I just don't understand that mindset. Like I really don't understand that mindset. So it's like we need to do better. It's like we honestly need to do better. We need to, you know, not only get money for ourselves, but think about our mothers, think about our sisters, think about our friends. It's like how can you live this successful life and then watch your friends starve and watch your friends
mm,
have like a family with like you know 2 kids and they're starving, but then you're rocking the latest designer. It's just,
mm.
you know,
And I'm not,
people have it. Yeah,
it's
people are
not
very
even
warped.
about like delivering handouts when you have, but kind of in some streets, if you have or you have achieved, and it's kind of like, all right, guys, maybe you don't think you have that ability to achieve, or you haven't kind of hit that mindset yet, but like, here, let me put you on, or let me show you something. Do you
Mm.
understand what I mean? You can't.
You mean in the sense of like, you know, like say if you started a company,
Yeah.
it's like you make your friend like vice president or not vice president, but you know, if you're starting a clothing
Or head
label,
of marketing.
yeah, head of marketing,
You see.
yeah. But yeah,
um you know, someone who you trust, you know, and I just don't think money makes anyone happy. It's that core principles that makes that person happy. Money is just a benefit. um you know, there's people out there that have nothing and are happy within themselves. It all depends on that individual person.
mm.
um
But I do believe though on the flip side, say if somebody's living on like low income housing or something,
mm,
and there's a woman and she has 4 sons,
mm,
I do honestly believe like one of those 4 sons is going to end up hustling to keep the lights on because one of those 4 sons is going to have that mindset of mum's giving me so much with the little she has, we deserve better.
mm.
So it's like sometimes I feel like those environments, they end up concocting a lot of the madnesses that are out on the street. I mean, I'm not trying to make potions here. I'm just saying, like, I just that's honestly what I believe. It's like you put a mother and her 4 sons in like a 1 bedroom or whatever, right? Whatever circumstance, right? it's like one of those sons is going to have that kind of like, not necessarily right, but hustler's mindset to think, oh, we need better. I'm going to get it, whether it's the right way or the wrong way. So it's just, yeah.
But let us know what you think. We've obviously shared our views and our points, our facts, and what we know. Let us know what you think about this week's topic. Leave a comment below.
Subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Also, follow us on at the Kickback LS. Make sure you're tuned in every week. Also, not to forget, we are also still running the Ratchet Book Challenge. We really want to push this, guys. We really want to bring some light to it. Shout out to Benel again.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Benel for doing that for us. Appreciate it.
Doing the Ratchet Book Challenge for us. You'll find his picture on our page. But yeah, tune in next week for more of the Kickback. Thank you.
Thank you.